everyone, Coach Tiffany here. So I try to come on around 12:30 on Tuesdays and Thursday. Tuesday's meant to be a little more inspirational, and Thursday is a little more coaching. So I do post on Wednesdays in the group if, just a question, a graphic, do you have any questions? So you can always post in there if you have questions. Also, feel free to reach out to me private message if you want to ask a question, but you don't want to ask it publicly. And I will speak about I'll coach on that question without, of course, saying who you are. So relatively anonymous, although in Facebook Messenger is not HIPAA compliant. So ideally, it's not something that is specific health stuff. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about you being the authority on your body and why that's important. If you're hopping on, say hello, say where you're coming from, where you're watching from. And of course, I'd love to hear any feedback or comments, any ideas that are sparked by this inspiration video. So feel free to comment. And if you are enjoying the Deserving Women group, please invite your friends. I definitely want to grow the group. It's a relatively new group, but I love the interaction and the real sense of community there. I love that everyone's really supportive and loving there. So if you're also enjoying it, please invite friends that you feel might benefit from the group. All right, so you are the authority on your body. So some of the principles of intuitive eating are honoring your hunger, honoring your satisfaction, and respecting your body. And so one of the reasons that we struggle with this so much is that we're taught diet culture or diet mentality kind of teaches us all these shoulds around food, what we should and shouldn't eat, what we should and shouldn't enjoy, or how much we should enjoy something, not to eat too much, not to have too much pleasure in food. And one of the reasons that diets don't work is they don't honor each person as an individual. So diet will say, eat these foods, not these foods. Well, maybe you don't like some of these foods. Maybe there are foods over here that you want to be able to enjoy with your family. Maybe you're having family spaghetti night, right? And spaghetti's not on the diet. And so eating that spaghetti might be something that would be really satisfying for you. And maybe you're really hungry. And by being on a diet and not eating the spaghetti, you are not honoring your own autonomy, right? Your body and what your body is telling you it wants. So I just want you to think for a moment about a situation where someone else told you something about your body, a should or shouldn't, or an external idea about your body. For a lot of women, it often comes down to the kind of standard, the traditional standard of beauty, right? That people, or the traditional ideas, not the standard, but the previous ideas about beauty. And a lot of times that means being a particular size. Well, if you are, say, 5'8" and a size 10, if you have the idea that your body needs to look a certain way in order for you to be valuable or worthy, you might fight against your body and feel like your body isn't good enough, right? And so that's another way that we don't honor our body or kind of give away our own power around our bodies. And it's really hard to do in our society because we constantly get these messages that we should be a certain way, or messages around how we should eat or shouldn't eat. So I just want to get back to the concept for a minute of you being the authority on your body. When we take the control from out here, so an external locus of control, and reject diet culture and reject kind of these beauty ideals, then we can bring the control back here and we can begin to build more trust with our body, or get back in tune with our body. So body attunement and body trust are really important pieces of intuitive eating. And they're also really important pieces of just general self-care and of honoring ourselves. And so when we feel empowered to take care of our bodies and listen to the messages that our bodies give us, then we can go out into the world with more self-confidence, and we can feel more at ease and more at peace. We can also take care of ourselves in a better way, right? Which usually leads to more energy and more stamina. Many of you have heard me talk about You know, the reason that I do this work is I see so many women who are just really struggling with food. So they're constantly struggling with food in their bodies, and either they're, you know, trying to eat really well, and then they're having that pendulum swing and eating all the things and beating ourselves up, right? Or they've kind of given up and they don't know how to feed themselves, they're not nourishing themselves, or there's just this general level of shame all the time because they're just eating like bagels and potato chips, like that's how they're surviving, right? Because it's like the instant easy carbs, right? And when you're tired or hungry, a lot of times that's kind of the message that you get is or the autopilot you go into is like, I need these carbs. So when we believe that we are the authority on our body, we can really reject a lot of the diet mentality that's over here that's causing all of that mental and emotional angst and strain. And instead, we can start to build that trust and respect with our bodies and honor those signals. So honor our hunger, honor our, when we're feeling emotional, like learning how to deal with our emotions, right? Or what are some things that we can do instead? So I was just talking with someone who said that when she goes for a power walk, it feels really good when she's upset. And that, you know, if she can recognize in the moment, like, oh, a power walk would be really good, then she might not, you know, kind of sit around and not feel as good. And so that's a way that, you know, someone else might say, well, when you're angry, you need to do X, Y, Z. But actually, for different people, it's different, right? So basically, it's all about being empowered to really listen to your body and know that you are the authority. So, you know, a lot of times this plays out in my work because I'll have clients who come to me who say, you know, I should or shouldn't, or I'm off track, or I'm this or that. And if we go back to that person's body, we can almost always get down to what are the signals that our bodies are giving us and how do we honor those signals? Instead of thinking that, you know, we should or shouldn't be doing something, we might be missing out on something that our body needs. So I want to empower each of you to know that you are the authority. I'm not the authority, right? So people come to me, I have no idea what hunger feels like in their body or how their body, how hungry they are, right? Or what foods would taste satisfying to them, or when they feel full, or what the sensation of fullness feels like in their body. I can do work to help facilitate them getting connected to those signals and them learning what works for their body, but it's their body. So, you know, what I find satisfying, I actually love kale, and I know that like a lot of people don't love kale. But I crave it. I actually crave it. And so that's something that I find really satisfying, especially a lot of you know, often I'll use the No Mess Chef meal service. He makes kale that is unbelievably delicious. It's like just the right amount of crispy and flavorful. I don't know what he does, but it's super tasty. For those of you who are going to be at my, who are in my fall cohort or my fall coaching hybrid program, we're going to be having a meal that will include some food by him. So you'll get to experience the deliciousness. Anyway, I'm getting a little off track. I guess I'm hungry. But anyways, but you know, that's something that I do in my work with people is help facilitate learning what your body's signals are and honoring your satisfaction. That's actually one of the intuitive eating principles is the satisfaction factor. And I love that about it because how many of you have, you know, just who of you is watching has experienced a diet where they say, you know, what would be more satisfying to you, right? There are a few that use like points, but this is just purely choosing foods that are satisfying and tasty to you, and still eating for health. That's another principle, but that principle still goes back to you being the authority on your body because you know what feels good to your body and what doesn't, and that's part of teasing this out. So some people do better with more fruit in their diet, right? And then some people do better with more protein. Some people do better when they eat healthy fats, make sure they include like avocado with their breakfast, right? So we're each individuals. There's no one right diet for anyone or no one style of eating that's perfect for everyone. And part of intuitive eating is learning what makes you feel best and also to honor those hunger and satisfaction and fullness signals. So you're the authority. I think women being empowered to take the control from out here to in here can only do good in this world right now. We need more women who have the energy and the stamina that they need and the focus. So not wasting that mental and emotional energy on struggling with food, and instead using that energy to care for ourselves so that we can truly lead and stand up as a leader who's empowered, right, and model that behavior for others. So I think that really starts with the mindset that I'm the authority on my body. And with that, not only comes freedom, but a responsibility. If we're the authority on our body, we have a responsibility to honor that and care for our bodies and respect our bodies, right? So I hope this was inspirational to you today. Say hello, drop a comment. Let me know if this made you think about anything that maybe opened up some files in your brain or some space in your brain about being the authority on you and what that could mean for you, what kind of benefits that can bring in your life. And I'd also love if any of you have thought of a situation or a time where you were told a should around your body, around food, around your hunger, right? So a lot of times it starts when we're kids and well-meaning parents eat, finish your plate or eat 3 more bites of that spinach, right? For a child who's maybe not feeling hungry or maybe that food's not very satisfying to them, it can actually turn them off from that food long term, right? So my parents fed me like canned spinach, and to this day I struggle to eat cooked spinach. If it's sauteed in a pan and served with something else that's good, I can kind of get through it, but I really don't want very much of it. Versus like I love a fresh spinach salad and I love kale sauteed. So it kind of turned me off from spinach, cooked canned spinach. I'll probably never eat spinach out of a can ever again. So, a lot of times it starts really young. We're kind of given these messages that we are not the authority on our bodies, unfortunately. And then as we get older, we're told, that our desire for food is bad or our hunger is bad, or that it's just not a priority, right? So a lot of times we get further and further away from treating ourselves as the authority on our bodies. So yeah, so anyway, I hope that was helpful. On Thursday, I'm going to be talking, I think, about body trust and how important that is. And that's going to be tied into, of course, respecting our bodies and caring for ourselves, self-care. This week is all about body trust, body attunement, and being the authority, being empowered to, take back that control that the diet industry has attempted to strip from us. So let's do it. All right. Have a great week. Thanks.